discussion for the cemetery contract at the end of the meeting that we're gonna add to the agenda. And we can call this meeting to order. It's 7 o'clock. We can say the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call for please.
Arnett.
I am here.
Delcoy. Here. Skelton, yes. Brown. Yes. Kuhn.
Here.
All present.
Has everybody read the February minutes?
Yes. And your name should be added to, should be Brown, and Arnett volunteered to
Okay,
do the.
it doesn't matter to me, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't wanna change it, that's fine, but
Yeah,
Aaron was there too, pulling wagon.
yep, pulling the wagon. Anything else? Any other corrections? Everybody good with the minutes? Can I have a motion to approve them?
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Minutes approved. Okay, I did have an ambulance meeting on 2/20, and I didn't bring all the stuff because it's almost exactly the same as what it was last time, all the paperwork that I gave you before. They're getting more staff, and they're getting it soon from what they said. They had 1 unit in our area 50% of the time, 2 units 48% of the time, and none 2% of the time. So that's what we're looking at, which is way better than they were a couple of years ago. So it's slowly getting better. And the quarterly billing, we put on the budget the new price that they gave me, and they said to go with that for your budgets. It's not in stone, we haven't signed anything yet, but that's what they think it's gonna be. So that's what I did. And that's all I got on ambulances. Planning, did you guys meet?
No, we have a next meeting May 7th.
Okay, ZBA didn't meet. Fire board?
No.
No. Recreation?
Didn't meet, but I spoke with, sure, the new lady and Diana, Cassandra Hostetler.
Mhm.
And so we got all the paperwork signed to, send over to, United Way. And, we were approved to get our $8,000 from them.
Okay.
And they are trying to send out the applications to the school and other places who want the recreation money. And then we'll be looking at those, April-ish.
So, did they used to give them to you guys, the applications?
We review those. We'll review all those in April.
Okay, so do you have applications you can give people?
I don't know, it's through the village. It's
Okay.
through, she's our coordinator.
Okay, I
Cassandra.
can't remember that, but I wonder.
We used to be able to get them online,
Online?
but I don't know what they've done with their website.
They were had a problem with all the past information, and I think they're kind of starting from scratch on some of that.
I know they
Alright, we'll go to cemetery, that's you guys. So we got your paperwork, we have not had a chance to discuss it at
Yes,
all, because I just got it yesterday.
Yep.
From you, what I would like is a bid individually for the mowings and the weed eatings. How much you would charge us individually for those things,
Okay,
if you can just email that to me.
okay.
And then we'll talk about it later in our meeting, and then I'll get back to you in a couple days,
Okay.
okay? Cause we just haven't had a chance to
Yep,
discuss
I
it,
understand.
okay?
It came quick.
Yeah,
It seemed like it was that quick, and then, I've been thinking about this all since the last meeting and stuff, and
yeah.
before I know it, they said, you gotta go down there. I said, oh, shoot, yeah.
Yeah, cause it was our budget, so we have
Yeah.
to approve our budget, so
Yeah.
we wanna,
Yeah.
know what we're doing, but yeah, so we'll do that. And there's nothing else going on, there's sticks, piles of sticks all over down there, though I think that they picked them up when they didn't do the flag shot. They said they're gonna take them out. I asked
I
them,
know
did they
that.
say they talked to you?
Somebody called about the wreaths too, and was supposed to.
Yeah,
be
they'll
those-
take them all.
Yeah, they got piles of them laying down there last time we did it.
Yeah, I didn't see them today, but they did leave this piles of sticks down there, so we can pick those up. And I have your check here, so you guys can take it with you when you go. You don't, we don't have to mail it to you that way.
There's some of these in the whole thing.
That's great. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's all I noticed down there. I know there's some barrels that are full, but anytime that you wanna use this out here, we used to take it down there and use it like that. So if you wanna do that. Okay, anything else for any of those? Okay, clerk's report.
We have 5 different things that are over budget, and this is the last month. So I suggest we just add what we're over into those 5 accounts. And those 5 accounts are 715 payroll expense, payroll tax expense, 80196 fire and rescue expense, 825 attorney fees, 836.9 assessing and taxation expense, and 921 utilities.
And so, since this is the last billing of this
Yeah,
season
I
here,
would
it's,
just
just put what it
suggest we add
takes.
in what
Yeah, I
what
think
is
that,
over, cause then the auditor will adjust as necessary
It's
for,
adjusted as necessary.
in April, for April bills.
I agree, it's the last one, nothing's gonna
so
come
we'll
in
just add those
surprising.
amounts and you'll just put them in the minutes.
Yes,
So we'll just add those amounts to bring it up to what we need.
Mhm.
okay, I just need a motion to add them.
So move to increase line
To
items
adjust
that are
the
over,
line items.
and you'll name all of them,
Yeah.
and, increase their deficit to just what it needs to be to, meet the overage.
And I wanna,
And you'll name all the overages too, I mean,
Yeah,
just to
she
I certainly will.
straighten all that out.
so and I wanna make a note to you guys, looking at this, that we already, this time we paid for the tanker, and it brought us our actual budget, $491,974.07. And what we budgeted was $482,696.20, and that's only $9,000 over with the tanker. So I think we did pretty good this year.
We're happy about that.
Yeah, we are, and then we don't have to pay for it next year.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go on to. We did get a letter from Marty under the Parks and Rec Board
Yes,
asking us for $4,500, which we normally budget for them and should be paid.
It's in our new budget.
mhm.
Just letting you know about that. I have that one. And then, that AED
Mhm.
has been ordered and paid for. I was able to set up where they would do an electronic check.
So you'll pay him with an electronic check?
Already did.
You did, okay,
It's
cool.
done, it's eligible for $2,000 in grant.
All right,
Yeah,
that's great.
it is. And we wanna okay that, right?
Yes.
We wanna okay that we did that,
Okay.
cause we
Yes,
talked about it
yes,
and
we
we said
did
we'd
talk
okay
about
it at the next meeting, that we're buying
Yes.
this AED for what, how much was it?
2,000?
Total price after shipping is $2,476.30.
And 2,000, that's going to be paid by the election money that you election grant money.
Yes,
The election safety, security, and I don't remember the other name on the grant.
Cool.
But
What's
this
your
is
grant
part
money?
of the safety, safety list.
so move that we approve the ADT, is that what we need to say?
Yes.
For that price, $2,476.30, and, 2,000, that's going to be covered by the grant money from the election, state election monies for safety.
Second, any discussion?
Good job.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, we need to vote on that probably.
Brown,
Yes.
Coon.
Yes.
Skelton, yes. LaFleur, yes. Arnett.
Yes. Motion passed.
I'll say Louis had a question.
Mr.
No,
Todd.
I'll wait till public comment.
Oh,
I just wanted to know who you buying it from, cause,
we went through Mike Aiden, right?
We went through Mike Hayden.
oh, okay, alright, I'll call him. Cause I have a source that needs one, so.
Yeah. He took this.
Oh, I have the information, I think, if you want.
Yeah, I'll get it from you at the end.
No, this is on the grant.
It's okay,
Cardiac Solutions, LLC.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Would you remind me what LRS is?
No, Michiana, trash.
Oh, that's right. We have them, I remember the numbers.
I
Those
did
letters.
find a cheaper one online, or Mike did, and he let me know about it. And two things with it is the warranty was not as long as this one. And I called to see if I could get an account set up because they only take credit cards. And I couldn't understand anyone that got on the phone with me. And they were not understanding me at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
dear.
So, on the LRS, that's not right. It's 48 something, because it had last month's bill on there. Remember, we sent them a check and it just didn't, it crossed in the mail, right? Am I right?
Yes,
Okay,
I
just so
forgot
you
to
know,
adjust that.
it's not 168, we went down to every other week and now it's like $54 or something like that, instead of 120.
Yeah, cause that 119 was already paid or that.
Yeah,
$54?
it's around there.
Okay,
Yeah,
close.
I don't, we looked at it the other day, it's right
I
around
will
there.
Redo
redo
that,
it.
sure. Per month?
Per month, yeah, and we just went to every other week
Every
instead
other-
of,
per
we don't
every
have
other
a
week.
lot. Okay,
So you got the check right there, and you'll just rewrite it. Sure.
yeah, we'll just
Void
rewrite it,
rewrite.
we'll fix it.
Got it.
Okay, bills. Bills look very high, but the AED is on there,
And
and
the
also
truck.
there's a tanker truck out
That's a
there.
tanker truck. And we are caught up with the fire service, or they still owe us, some,
We owe them money. Is that what
they
you
owe
mean?
us some, billings? That's what billings was
I'm
this,
just-
was this
It's
January,
on the
February,
check as
or?
to what- You have the check, it's on the check as to what billing.
Yeah, what months did they, have they
Oh,
sent
I got
in?
the check, oh, hang on a minute.
Alright, I
How
can
close
tell
are they
you
being
what
to,
year.
you know, catching up with this year's budget?
I
Well, they
think
gotta be
that was
somewhat
January, so we gotta be February, March.
And then she has
We're
to,
over
push that.
already.
and we're over. So, we don't know what they're going to be charging for February, March.
Is this it,
This
the village of
says
Constantine?
January 2025.
So we have February,
And March, and
to-
we're over already.
so then we have to add money
And this one
here,
was
so that they've got
6,000.
money to shove those
Yeah.
back into.
And I don't have any idea, what do you
And
think?
average was, per
Six.
month is 7,000.
Well, I think you better add about 14,000 on that.
Well,
so
that
you
takes
can-
us, geez, oh pizza,
That takes us over our budget.
way
huh?
over, cause we're already there.
Yeah, we kinda met
Okay,
what
where
you
are we?
predicted.
So,
Well, hold on, fire.
Fire,
I don't think we should. I think we should let the auditor fix that.
Yeah, we can let the auditor fix it.
Okay, let the auditor fix it,
But we
okay.
need to keep an eye on it so
But-
we know.
Because
Because,
you gotta know that that's
because-
what they do.
Because one thing we don't know is if we
the April that we paid, last
don't,
April,
yeah, we don't know what
that's
she did with
on
that,
here.
so there'll only
Oh,
be
the April,
12.
so she's gotta throw that back.
yeah,
So
so
we
don't know
don't
where
know,
we're
so
at.
let's let her correct
Okay,
it.
and that's a question for her then. I was just thinking maybe we should add more money to it, but you're
Yeah,
right,
but
they're gonna
she did it
throw at
before.
least 1 month out, which is gonna increase your,
Yeah, but
what you
she
got to
still
use.
can-
That's
She
what
can
she
still
could have done
fix
2
it.
months
She can
before
fix
too,
it.
because that's how they bill us. So she
Yeah.
probably
Yeah, 'cause
pushed it
I
back
didn't
and it's
get-
not on here.
Get 2 or 3 months until May.
So, we should let her do that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
and she'll
think,
give
I
us a
mean, this
final.
is what we budgeted,
okay.
I think we should let her fix that.
But still, those two things are on this budget, they really
They
should
are,
be on this budget.
But then there's two
so-
things
And
on
it-
here
and
that
it will
shouldn't
show
be.
up on-
Shouldn't be, okay.
But it will show up on our audit.
Yeah,
Okay, so she'll say she reconciled, I just wanted to make sure that you knew
right.
that's gonna be a throwback to it.
It always is. Every year it's
Uh-huh.
the same, which I don't know why, but it is.
You know, it'd be nice if they're only 1 month behind.
So Mike bills the village? Is that how that happens? Mike bills the village and the village bills us?
Yeah, cause we have to
The
check that
village
one.
pays all of the fire bills,
So who figures that out?
Mike does.
And he bills them for everybody's? Does he break it down?
Mhm. Everybody's got a
He's
percentage.
got it on a spreadsheet, he just
Okay,
puts
so
in
is-
what was paid,
Is this because of him or because of the village?
I cannot answer
Okay, so we need to find out because whoever's
It-
doing it
it
needs to
could-
get on it
that. It
better.
could be 50-50 as far as.
I'll call Mark and ask him. How about that? And if he tells me it's Mike, then I'll call Mike. Cause it would be better for us if they could do it like, we should have January's and February.
I know last spring it was probably not because it was something going through and the village was going through.
Okay, but I really do believe that he could do it the next month and we'd only be a month behind all the time.
Yes, like he did this time, 'cause
Yeah.
January came at the end of February, so.
Yeah, but we're in
And I
March,
paid it, and I paid it now.
right? But we need to, as close as we can get.
Well, there was one year that I did that, and it was just like
Well-
horrendously far behind, and it was just ridiculous how much we
I
were.
know he waits
doing over.
until he gets the bill information from the village as to what they paid. And their meeting to approve bills is the second Monday, or the third Monday of the month.
Oh, the third.
What?
See, all of the fire bills go directly to the village.
Okay,
I'll get it next. He's waiting.
He has to wait for Jody to give him a report as to what she paid for the fire department.
okay.
She doesn't produce it until the bills are approved by their council the third Monday of the month.
So he's getting a month behind.
So he's
Yeah.
getting
Well, the month
about a
behind
month
doesn't bother
behind.
me, but 3 or 4 months behind bothers me.
So he's getting a month behind, and that puts him a second. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So she gets January bills, and like in February, she pays them in February, he gets them in March and gets it to us.
Could there be any kind of request that
I don't know. I don't
That all
understand
those
why they
bills
didn't-
get turned in so they can vote them on the first
Yeah.
Monday, not the third Monday?
Maybe.
That would
I'm
probably be a
not
supervisor.
I know, I'll do it.
I'm not
I'll do
going
it.
there.
I don't have any problem doing it. I'll find
probably-
out what
They're
the
gonna
thing
get a new
is.
Jody, so that could take some learning
yeah.
curve.
But, and she said, they don't have anyone yet. Her last day is supposed to be the end of this month, but she's in Florida this month, so it really was the end of last month.
I'm gonna ask my friend who's gonna apply for that job.
And,
Okay.
she said, I am not staying past May 31st.
Okay. Alright, so we'll look at the bills
Okay,
after all that discussion.
I would
Okay.
look at it after she is, well.
we would have to give them a few months to kind of pull their,
Together.
get their learning done, and
Oh, this is-
Okay.
after 6 months, say, hey, we need
Any
these.
other questions on the bills
Are there other
Comments.
questions?
or comments?
No, I understand everything else.
No, it looks like you paid your board for review, right? So
Yes, they got done at
it was good.
5, and I would have the check written by 5 after,
All right, you're good.
just 'cause I had this stuff at 1:45.
Okay.
Any more questions?
Nope.
Okay,
What was the amount?
we're gonna tell you that in a
Okay.
minute. All right.
I
so-
move, pay the bills
Yeah.
in
so
the
we gotta
amount
move,
of
Pay the bills and
$131,000, $131,473.97.
Second? Any discussion? No? Okay, we're gonna pay the bills. Motion passed.
All A's.
Well, if you don't have to have those, according
Yeah,
to
then that's
the
what,
lady that-
you're gonna rewrite the check for LRS.
Yeah. and
Yeah,
then
we'll
I'll
fix
change
that
it by
check.
A few bucks.
Cool.
Do you want me to correct that in this amount, or just leave it as this?
Well, correct it in that amount,
Okay.
and then we'll have the correct amount. It's just less, it's what, $100 or something?
Yeah. 119, I don't see it right there.
Do you have correspondence for us?
No, I talked about the letter was all I got.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
We can come back if it's not.
Oh, the only other thing is we did get franchise money from Comcast for the easement.
Yeah?
We did get that. That's like $1,600. And I got a letter stating that our contact person has changed again.
Again?
I get one almost every
I
time
know.
I get one.
Every year. Changes all the time. Okay, you're up, Cindy.
Okay, so, tax season is over. If you get any calls, if anyone asks you in person, all taxes have to be paid at the county courthouse now, because they're late. We got our local community stabilization check, our first one for February came, and our portion was a little over 41,000, I think. Ours was 42 and the library's was 40, so 42,000 for that. As far as the tax season being done, I have a little report here I had to run for Kathy, so I thought I'd share it with you guys. We had $370,861 of uncollected taxes. And then on personal property tax, we also had just almost $1,100, which is not very much.
No.
And it's primarily for one parcel holder, so, yeah.
Good. Are you relieved?
I haven't settled with the county yet, but I'm relieved to not have my phone blowing up anymore.
Yeah, the one that I had for you she lost her receipt, she wanted to make sure she had paid them, but she was sure she did. So I don't know. It just was okay. I'll tell her. Is that it for you?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll move ahead. Okay, the audit for the library. Kim Bontrager called me while I was on vacation, and, well, she emailed me and said that she needed to talk to me about the library. And so, when I got here Monday, I called her last week, and she is no longer gonna be doing the audit for the library, but she would love to continue doing the audit for us. And I would like her to continue doing our audit, cause we work really well with her, and she's familiar and everything. And she also stated that she was gonna see if the library had to stay a component on our audit, like if they couldn't independently turn in their audit. So she was gonna check on that, and if not, we'll just have to have them give us their audit when they get it from whoever they get it from.
And that's the lawyers to be sure that that's an okay thing to do.
What?
Make sure that they don't have to be with us because they're a component with us.
Well, that's what she said.
So she's gonna check with the lawyer?
She'll check with it, yeah,
Okay.
she'll know, but she said if they do, then they can get their own audit and give it to us.
And give it, okay.
And we'll include it in our audit. So they, were not happy with their price, and they were not happy, with the way she did it, and she finally said, it doesn't seem like you're very happy with me, so you could find a different auditor, sorry. And, so that's what she told me, and I really like her, and I think she does a good job, so I'd like us to keep her. And that's what I told her, so. And the Midwest resolution, okay. I got this guy who sent me this letter. Are you familiar with the BEAD program? You probably are. No? Okay, so what it is, the Broadcast Equity Access and Deployment Program, and they give them money to bring broadband, or them, it's Midwest fiber optics to underprivileged and all that. And they have 2 areas in Constantine they're gonna wanna do, and they like to have the support of the townships, which and it said if another company like Comcast came here, we can do it for them too. We don't have to just do one. And so I printed off the letter, and if it's okay with all of you guys, I'll just make it in our name and I'll sign it and send it, because we do wanna support that, you know.
Because they'll provide something to the poorer folks.
Underprivileged, yeah.
Underprivileged.
In this area, in the township here.
In the township.
Yeah, he said there's maps you can go and look at and that kind of thing, but no.
Like neighborhoods as such, not
Yeah.
individual
Yeah, I would think
houses.
so. Which would be around where they're at, because they can't come in where they're not at electric wise.
Right.
So, but he did send me this.
Is this for fiber optics? Okay.
Wherever their internet. And so he sent me this letter, and he sent me a makeup glitter, so I just told him that, oh, this one, we all gotta sign it.
Comcast gives us the franchise fees, right?
It doesn't have anything to do with that.
But it really doesn't have anything to do with them.
Right.
Okay, I just wanna make sure we're
Yeah,
not stepping
well,
on toes and making
No,
Comcast
because you get
mad.
franchise fees, not just from Comcast, but other ones too.
Okay,
And so like if Comcast came here and said it, we could support them also.
okay.
So
That they wanna do
this is a
something for
program
the
they're
lower.
getting money to do this for.
Okay.
So
Right.
they're running fiber optics in certain areas, that's what
Yeah.
you're saying?
That's what he's saying. So it's not stepping on their toes at all.
Okay.
And see, we get most money from Comcast because
Here, they probably covered the most.
they do, and also the poles, I guess, are theirs. And then Midwest, which is what most of the township is for electricity, they rent space on their poles from Comcast.
Okay. So while you guys are signing that, we'll move ahead. I got so much stuff here. So John Lindsay sent me these letters to send back to him, and I'm gonna read it to you, cause there's 2 of them, because I gotta send one to him, I'm gonna send them back to him, and then they'll send them with their application for a grant to work on North River Road. And it just says, the Constantine Township Board would like to show our support for a grant to fund a safety improvement project on North River Road from US 131 to US 12 in St. Joe County, Michigan, which would include redesigning the curves and widening the road to provide a safe route. And then it tells about everything that's happened there. And it says, North River Road is very important primary road in St. Joe County, which moves not only personal vehicles, but also commerce as it connects 2 highways. I believe that this road should be considered for additional funding, as it needs to be redesigned to provide a safe route for the motoring public. And so, one is to Senator Gary Peters, the other one is to Congressman Wahlberg, and I will sign these on your approval and send them to John, so he can include them in his grant packet. So what do y'all think? We should, I
At
mean,
the
we want
county
a grant for the road, huh?
At the county commission, we just did it a few minutes
you?
ago. It's just basically saying,
Right, that we
give,
support
yeah,
them.
that we support
Right,
them
that's
getting
what
a
it
grant
is.
to fix that road.
Yeah.
I remember
So-
the village doing that like 20 different times to get one thing done.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so everybody's good with this? That's what we'll do? I'll sign it and send it to him?
Yes, I think we should accept grant money to do,
Well,
I
they,
do,
we're just supporting them. to do-
supporting that, okay.
my question
Yes.
is, so, is just widening the road enough?
I don't know,
Because there's so many tractors and farm equipment out there that is scary.
I know, but this is what you're gonna get.
I know.
This is I can't help
I
it. They
just-
don't think they're ever gonna be able to stop the traffic there. And so they're trying to make it safer.
And that will make it safer some, because you have wide tractors and wide semis. I mean, you pass if you're
Yeah.
following a semi,
You wonder
On
how they
that
do
road?
each other.
and there's another one coming, they both get over into the dirt. So yes, I agree, it needs to be widened.
Right. And
But,
straightened.
you see all the tractors pulling out and they go 8 miles an hour, and semis don't wanna slow down for them.
But we have the same exact thing on Young's Prairie Road.
This is true.
Same exact. We have fast traffic and tractors. And I think on any road in this area here, you're gonna have that because of the farming. So, I think we should support it just because this might be all we get.
Absolutely, I
Okay.
support it, I
All right.
just
That's what I'm gonna
hope
do
it's
then.
enough.
I don't know. I know that we've cried about it till everybody knows. Okay, because it is a problem. Okay, there's that one, Midwest Public Library. Okay, so then, I have appointments I gave you. We need to approve those, I think, don't we, Marty?
Yes, they have to be approved now.
And I
do.
I gave them to you
I know.
in your packet. And I checked with, Mike, and he gave me all of this, and I know what the zoning board of review is, because I just didn't even yell about it, and then I just worked with these people, so this is all we have right here.
I just have one question.
Yeah.
You sit there forever doing the secretary for the board of review, and you don't get paid for that, even a meeting pay? I tend to disagree with that.
The way it's always been, I don't know that there'd be something to ask the lawyers about. Are you supposed to be paid outside of that?
Well, we should be able to tell them
MTA
rules.
book.
MTA book, yeah.
But
If it's just part of your duties, or can you actually be paid for that?
But we're all paid for our meetings.
It's
and
true,
stuff.
I know, I get it, and I just know that it's always been that way, but it doesn't mean it can't change,
Yeah,
but you wanna go by the books in case
right.
somebody comes to look at us.
Well, if that's true, you know, so we'll look into that.
I have a question too, under newspapers as designations, shouldn't we, Rivers Commercial isn't, are they still
Yeah, Fridays,
only Fridays?
it's on Fridays.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, actually, it comes on Thursday to me. I get it on Thursdays.
Cause you're special.
No, because I think that's when they put it out, because I do online.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I do it online.
is your daughter still supposed to be on that?
She will be back.
She will be back,
She
okay,
will be back
Yeah.
May 30th.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
just
so
suspended
can we,
for-
You just suspended your pay while she was
So she's
gone.
gone, okay.
Until June is what my computer pops up at.
can we approve these appointments as stated, as given?
We can. I will make that.
Wait,
Motion?
you need, do I have only one sheet and there's another one
There's
laying
two
around?
sheets.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
should have both.
okay, there we go. You've got the dates on, yeah, okay. Okay. Didn't see that. Okay, cool.
Okay?
Did we change our?
Question?
Yeah,
On her Gary Mathers, it shows April 2013.
I'm sorry. I probably screwed it up. On who? Gary Matthews?
Gary's, yeah.
Oh, April 20, it's supposed to be.
Oh, that's a long time. When it
21.
came out.
I think it was 23 to 25 for him
Okay.
when I saw it on there, so it's supposed to be a 2, not a 1.
Okay, cool.
God, I checked this over and over.
I hate when
I do too.
Sorry for interrupting.
That's okay. Yeah, we want it right, so. So I'm gonna correct that and then I'll hang them up on our bulletin board and everything. But, so we have a motion to approve all these appointments.
So
I
moved.
will, okay,
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved, all the appointments are done. Okay. So, another thing that, Marcia and I talked about, because we're having, like, we can't put our trash thing on an automatic payment, and they're charging us how much for us to send them a check?
$9.95.
$9.95 a month to send them a check, and they won't take anything but a credit card. And we talked about this before, and our bank has credit cards, and if it's okay with you guys, I'll get the information and see about applying for a credit card for Constantine Township, that we would just keep here and use like for Quill and that kind of thing.
So maybe more and more people deal with their, don't want
Yeah,
credit
and then,
cards.
you know, you get your
Thing.
statement along with our bills every month and we would just pay it off. We wouldn't, but the $9.95 would get rid of that, so.
That's a lot of money. after
It
all.
is.
That's how it is even for residential now too.
Yeah, and I do mine automatic, so, but they won't take, like, mine is out of my checking account, and they won't do that with a commercial. They want a credit card. So, anyway, that's okay, so I'll look into that. Okay, what's the next thing we got? Okay, the budget, it's the same one I sent you.
Good.
And it might change a little now because of the cemetery thing. But that is something we're going to close session about, but if you wanna take a look and see what you think, we talked about it last meeting, I made the corrections and went through there, I used the real numbers for. The 2020, 25, 26. So if you wanna take a look at it.
Can you,
Marty, do you think we can approve it with the notion that the sexton amount might change? Can we do it that way?
I guess you can always adjust it. That's all right. Just
Oh, we
adjust
can
that line
adjust
item.
it.
Yeah, and I would,
Yeah.
I would just pass your motion that,
Might
and
just put a note
just
in it.
note that, the cemetery contract is in negotiation.
Mhm. Yeah. You're always adjusting anyway, so it is, we just don't have the answer for that yet.
We weren't, and I don't
Been
wanna make a
discussing
rush
it.
decision. I want some more information.
Mhm.
Okay, so, any questions? You guys just tell me when you're ready. I have a question to you, Marcia. I know that you look, can you give those to Cindy, please? So all of our attorney fees this year are from Doug.
Yes, I have not called
I haven't either.
Roxanne at all.
Okay, that's just what I wanted to know. And if we decide to,
And sometimes I understand why he did, but. And I understand he wants it legal.
well,
and
he's had to
correct.
go to court several times this year. I can vouch for that,
Yeah.
and I know
And
that.
some
that
of this bill that I just paid was legal fees for that.
Was it, cause he's got that problem, we have that problem.
Yes, we do.
And so, he's trying to clean that up, and it's very important, there's not enough money for a life, so.
689 is fire and rescue income, and that's mean when we have accidents, the fire department's supposed to bill things and we get money in. And at this point, we're
We
gonna do,
haven't received much at all.
We didn't receive much at all this year.
Yeah.
Let's see, we received $675. I had 18,000, I don't know where I got that from, it seems like we got a big amount one year. So I just went over and,
okay, so that's something we wanna discuss with
Mike,
Mike and the fire board, that will be done.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be, Florence would get some more money, the village gets more money, we get more
Yeah.
money if we get this.
I'll ask him.
well, it just depends on where the
Yeah,
fire
where-
is, but, we did make it okay for him to go ahead and go to court and everything, remember?
Mhm.
When he came and we
I
said, yeah, we
remember,
could do
yeah.
that. So we probably should ask him about it next time he comes.
He's in
We're all
the
asking
office,
to
he's
come.
got office hours, so.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, yes, I did have to send out a check for the fire.
We sent a check out for, one of those insurance things we got,
We had,
and we have to pay them.
we got
We had to pay that.
$13,000 and some dollars from the insurance to hold.
Oh, to
until-
hold, yeah, okay.
Yes,
Remember
the
in
fire
the-
We
was-
did that one time, yeah, when
it's
they
the
finally
fire withholding.
cleaned it up and,
Right,
and we
cleaned it
got.
up.
okay.
Yes, and this one was cleaned up and I got information from Doug
Right,
that it was set to go. And I did some research and you're supposed to send those out immediately.
okay. Once you get that information, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, are we good on the budget?
I am.
You guys?
Yep.
Pretty happy with this?
All right, so let's make a motion to pass the budget for the 25-26 budget year in the amounts we have here.
Mhm.
And, we can make a note about the cemetery that we may have to adjust that at a different time. Let's make a motion to do that.
I will make a motion to pass the Constantine Township 2025-2026 monetary budget in the amount of $456,138.30.
438. Not 100, 438. On this paper.
Which one you got?
I got 138.
I got 138 too, but I think you got.
Oh, I'm on the wrong page then. 483,
Okay.
400, okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
And it may need to be adjusted or corrected because the cemetery contract is still in negotiations.
Second,
Second.
any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Brown.
Yes.
Bloom.
Yes.
Skelton, yes. LaFleur.
Yes.
Arnett.
Yes.
Okay.
Motion passed.
Motion
Okay.
passed 5-0.
Audience participation.
You took my thunder.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was about that letter.
Oh, was
So,
it?
I didn't know you got one, so.
Yeah.
It's all good. I just stuck around in case you guys have any questions. about
Yeah,
it.
John sent it to me.
Yeah.
He said, and I told him I'd get it back to him.
I can- You'll see him in the morning?
No, I'm gonna email it to him,
Oh, okay.
and then they can just print it off and put it with their packet.
Okay.
Cause I think he wants to get it out by the end of the week. Right.
Right. I was gonna say I can deliver it for you in the morning.
Oh,
if you
okay,
want.
then I'll give them to you.
If you want.
Are you
I
going
should
to see
make a
John?
copy of it.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for her to finish signing though.
Okay, these are yours. Yours to live with. There's one, Senator Gary Peters. take them? Louis, I'll give them to you.
Yep.
And I just included the whole township board instead of putting one person's.
Okay. If there's no other
Oh,
participation.
I have something to ask. I was just
Okay,
waiting for you
go
to
ahead.
sign. Do you guys do citizen interest forms, or how do you let people know when a position is open on a committee or a board?
Well, we haven't had that problem. We've had people come right along, so we haven't had that problem for that. I have looked for Max. I looked for Max for somebody to do the trustee position before he ran, and he wanted to run, and I had somebody else, so we just didn't ask for anybody else. But when it comes, it's gonna come to that, because, you know, the boards are just, right now, I have just the minimum amount of people that I can have on them, and if somebody goes, that's what we're gonna have to do. And I would imagine I'll put it on Facebook and do that kind of thing,
Okay.
yeah. And we are open to anybody, if they let us know that wants to be on our boards.
Do you put it in the papers too?
Well,
Like, not a lot of people do paper, do they, really?
No,
It's mostly online.
This could be
Yeah.
online stuff.
yeah, so I'd put it on our website,
I was thinking about it.
if I was looking for somebody. And, you know, at the next election, in the next 4 years, we might have to do that too.
Yeah.
You know, we just don't know, people just don't wanna do these jobs very much.
Yeah, I was
You might have to
thinking,
start a year ahead.
like the fire board, if you have an opening on that, having somebody fill out a citizen's interest form. Be like, okay, this is my interest, this is what I do, like White Pigeon in the county do.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be
What
fun.
a fire board is.
We are
and
actually, each of us has to be on a
Yeah,
board that.
I was
so
just-
for us, there's no
And the
opening.
fire board is just, 3 members in there each.
Yeah, it
from-
was just an example.
Yeah, but
So,
that's a good
yeah.
idea.
It
Yeah,
is.
get an interest form.
Yes.
And then last month I asked you about the building authority. Have you looked into that?
I haven't looked into it. I was on vacation.
Okay.
And then I had board of review, but I haven't, but it is in my notes there.
Okay.
So I will look into it and see what we can do about that.
Okay.
But I definitely like the interest one. Because I think that would be good to have. I can't imagine that anybody would not want that at this time. You
Well,
know, there's places that don't, they have vacancies on their boards and everything else.
yeah, I know Constantine Village gives out a newsletter. Maybe you can put one in there.
That'd be a good idea.
I don't know what if you guys do one too, but I know they do.
No, we don't. There's not that much here.
No, we're not getting into that.
Okay, yeah, so
No,
yeah, that's a good idea.
Not happening here. Not in my room.
Marcus has nightmares of that printer, the copy machine.
I used to work at the village.
All right, I'm out.
Unless you guys.
Bye.
All right, thank you, Liz.
Thanks
See
for
you later.
coming.
Yep, see you next
All
time.
right, we are gonna, at this time, if there's nothing else, we're gonna go into closed session. And which is at 7:48, I'm gonna write down for your motion.